Hey folks, Vince Brizio here from PreviewsWorld.com, hanging out with Orlando Jones at San Diego Comic-Con because Sleepy Hollow just got picked up for the second season. It's taken off, and not to mention it made the front cover of the Previews August order form. Boom Studios coming out with a comic book. Titan magazines, of course. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us here today.
I had to throw in a hey, Titan magazine, hey.
Captain Frank Irving, man, how's it come? I mean, second season is getting ready to start. I think it was 24 was the last time Fox saw such a spike in ratings for a drama.
Yeah, we've been fortunate, man.
Yeah.
It's a big fancy hit, so it's cool.
So how do you more or less, how'd you approach wanting to take on the character for the show?
Oh man, you know, when I first read about the show, I was like, this show's like a mashup. You know, it's sort of interesting. It's got this mythology and this historical thing and superhero blockbuster thing happening. It's got all kind of a procedural and monsters. I just really felt like the show was a mashup. So it was interesting to see a network wanting to do that type of show. And for Frank Irving, it was just, you know, a chance to play a guy who was just completely humorless. He's a humorless individual, that man. He has
that Jekyll and Hyde thing going on. Like, how can I approach this? Right?
You know, it's always the fun. You know, I always say, I think the Jim Valvano quote from back in the day was, if you laugh, you dance, and you cry, and you scream in one day, you had a pretty good day. So, you know, I always stuck with me that, you know, getting a chance to do different types of things has always been what I wanted to do as an actor. So, you know, this one's a drama, so it's fun.
Well, yeah, as far as the singing and dancing goes, I mean, you're pretty familiar with that because, of course, you did The Wiz, right?
Sure, yeah,
and, you know, as far as singing and dancing goes, I mean, is there anything else you think you might be doing in that vein of?
Oh, wow. You know, we're actually going to release the Tainted Love soundtrack, actually, this year. And, you know, it's going to be interesting because it's like you're watching kind of a Rocky Horror Picture Show, Pink Floyd The Wall, where you're watching a comic book graphic novel play out this live action and comics and panels and music. So we're going to do that with Tainted Love as the next iteration. So that'll be my next mess around in the music.
Tell me a little bit about Tainted Love. I mean, I get the idea that some people are calling it a motion comic, but I'm hearing it's much more than that.
No, I mean, look, the easiest thing is to say it's kind of just a movie. Right? It's a movie, but it's sort of reverse engineered. Like I'm a comic book fan, so I thought if you're going to make a comic book, you want it to really have panels and be drawn the way a comic book is. And a comic book has these amazing covers, but then obviously inside it's less detailed. Well, we thought, well, what if we do them all detailed so it's all covers? And so with that idea, and with comic books being a tainted love of mine, I thought, let's make this thing called Tainted Love, because everybody loves something they're not supposed to. That was it. And with that, we made the movie, but it has the panels, and it has animation, and it has art, but it's really a live action like you're just watching a blockbuster movie.
Now, you say as far as this, you're doing the soundtrack, right? The book's coming out. Where might people be able to find that when it starts?
So you go to taintedlovemovie.com and you can watch the graphic novel in 6 parts for free. It's on YouTube. You know, I just wanted to share it with other comic book fans. So you can watch it at taintedlovemovie.com for free. And you know, the music stuff you'll also see obviously taintedlovemovie.com or Tainted Love on Twitter. I think at Barry and Jezebel, the 2 characters, is Twitter. But you can all find it at taintedlovemovie.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, comic book nerd.
Yep.
Self-appointed comic book nerd. Is that how Black Dynamite came about? Because Adult Swim now has got this show on, and I'm going, So we're going from comic book nerd to Adult Swim. So I mean, how'd you cross the streams there, man? I mean, you're doing more than just wearing different hats. You're wearing different Armani suits now. At this point.
You know, I'm an actor, so one of the things that I get to do that's really fun for my job is I get to show up as different people. You know, and I've been lucky. I've been blessed to be able to do that with, you know, Drumline and Bedazzled and, you know, Office Space and Evolution and Time Machine.
Mad TV.
And, you know, and I've been able to play lots of different characters, and that's really fun for me. So I say all that to say, Black Dynamite I was a Boondocks fan, right? And my man Carl Jones was one of the exec producers of the Boondocks and wrote a lot of those scripts. And he was like, I want to do Black Dynamite. And I was like, Michael Jai White Black Dynamite? He was like, you know Mike? I'm like, yeah, I know Mike. He goes, we're going to do the animated version, and I'm going to write it. I need you to come be a basehead in the community. I'm like, what, you mean like a crackhead? He goes, yeah. I was like, did you just call me up and ask me to be a crackhead? What? For real? What just happened here? He was like, come on, man. I mean, I want you to be all kinds of people. Just come do it with me. So I was like, all right, cool. So that was it. Like, literally, it was one conversation. He wasn't exactly pulling teeth. Because as soon as he said Black Dynamite, I was like, what, fool? Oh, yes, I'm in the building. I'm in the building, fool. What?
Orlando's in the house.
Jump, get it. I was all in, yo. I was all in.
Well, hey, you got a busy San Diego Comic-Con schedule here. So people are, we're going to put this up and so they can watch it during the show. What else you got going on for the show before you get on out of here?
It's a special Comic-Con for me this year. I'm getting to do a lot of interesting things. So I'm doing the Black panel, which I did last year, and I get a chance to do it again, which is really fun. I'm doing the Fandom panel with Flourish Klink from MIT and Henry Jenkins from the USC School of Communication, and then presenting at the the Eisner Awards, and then also, God, what else am I forgetting? What am I doing? Oh, MTV Fandom Awards. But anyway, I think the thing that I'm most proud of right now is the Five Powers. It's a really cool piece, and it's really about the superheroes of peace. So there was a comic book about Martin Luther King called The Montgomery Story. And that's a comic book that's still in circulation. It's been disseminated around. It's really telling the story of the nonviolent movement. And the people who were the superheroes of peace were sort of a guy named Thich Nhat Hanh, Sister Chang Kong, and Alfred Kessler, who was a war activist. So a chance to do that story as the exec producer and also as the voice of the story is what I'm probably most proud of this year. So check out the Five Powers at peaceisthewayfilms.com. That's what I'm hype about.
We're going to get that word out there for you, sir.
Dude, I've wasted too much of your time.
No.
So kind.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. This is Mr. Orlando Jones. Keep the faith. Keep reading comics.
For real.